If you're thinking about scaling your Amazon business, which is going to be bigger than just you, what are the steps you're going to be taking? I've been interviewing a number of 7, 8, and I've even met 9-figure sellers on Amazon who have shared what they are doing. And I've been building that into my business over the last year. And I want to share with you what we have seen and what we have actually started building in our business. So hopefully it can share with you, take your business to the next level and help get you out of the business, freeing up time, but whilst your business is still growing to a really high standard. First things first, the one thing you really want to be thinking about is just keeping it simple. When you are developing systems and processes for your business, think about just documenting what you are already doing to start with. This is as straightforward as taking a Google Doc and recording the step-by-step processes that you're doing. Now, this is a really simple Google Doc that I created, which will give you a really simple idea of what your purchasing process could be. What I've done here is I've just written process, purchasing, and then deal review. Very simple. I've said who's created it, and then I've just written the steps. So are the products the same? Can we ship through FBA? Are we eligible to sell? The item is not knives. Make sure the brands match. Is the ROI greater than 30%? And maybe like the profit is greater than, I should probably have like, $3 there, for example. Now that might just be my simple purchasing process that I just start documenting. This is something that I can share with my sourcing VAs, which just means these are the guidelines that we adhere to when we purchase. Now, the second part I'll talk about is process creation. Now, this is a very good example that I just talked about. It's really important to just document that process. And this can be, in our business, the way we do this is we have kind of 2 parts to our processes. Number 1 is a real bullet point, a quick checklist of everything that we want to go through for that process. Then underneath that, what we'll actually do is do screen shares of how to do this. And that's for people who are maybe starting out, the first time they've seen it, they can go down the bottom and look at the detail version. But at the top, we just want to show really quick bullet point so it works for us. And again, simple. Now, the third step I'm going to recommend for you is one of the top tips you can do within these process documents is link to other ones. So for example, within a Google Doc, you can highlight an item, for example, right mouse click and do insert link. You can actually link to another document. This is going to really help you out because maybe you don't want to include the entire process there. You can actually link it to another process. So that means if any of your team members are wanting to understand, they can click straight through and jump towards the task or maybe the process that's going to help them understand. Now, in addition to this, one thing I recommend is create a document like this, create one master document. For example, here is a Google spreadsheet whereby we've just got 2 columns, name and link to the document. So if anyone wants to come and find any documents, we have a master document which keeps everything together. This is really simple to just see, maintain, and it's one central place for everyone to see exactly what they want. Now, my 4th top tip for you is going to be continual learning. Now, what do I recommend in regards to continual learning? Well, when you've created this process document here, this isn't it. This is constantly keep updating it. So every single time you use this process, go through, add to it, build it, make it better, make it more refined. The whole point behind these is not the fact that you've just quickly documented something down and you never see it again. The idea behind it is that you actually document this down and you use it every single day. It becomes your Bible that you work from. It becomes the recipe book that you're always looking at. And this is really important. And the reason why this is important, especially for you, but also your staff, is the fact that if your staff are using this every day, when you update it the next time, they're going to see that and immediately your changes to the process are going to naturally happen within your business. But if you are in the habit of just remembering and forgetting about it, any changes you now update to the documentation, you've now got to go through and do all the retraining, which just takes so much longer. So build your processes that they're actually part of your processes or systems every single day. Now, one of the most important things to think about is a scalable business is a business which is really a collection of systems and processes. This is really documents exactly like this, which all connect together to help your business flow. Now, what do I mean by that? You probably have a process for how we approach sourcing. Now, say for example, if I'm sourcing in electronics, I might have a process for sourcing electronics. I might have a process for how we submit those deals to the purchaser for reviewing. The purchaser will probably have a review process, exactly like we've done here. They've probably got a purchasing process whereby once they've purchased it, what do they need to record on the sheet? And then we've probably got the admin VA who's about sending that to the prep center, and then how we deal with the prep center and overdue stock and how we deal with that. But then even the process for repricing. All of these processes are just systems which sit within our business, which tell us how to do things. And every time we do it, we then repeat that process over. And every time something doesn't work, or maybe we can improve, we can then improve that process over and over again, sharpening the axe, which is so important. Now, another top tip I would strongly recommend for you is using time blocking. I've talked about this time and time again. If you don't know about time blocking, I'll drop a link up here. Now, time blocking is the process of blocking out time within your calendar. Now, I get my staff to do it and I do it myself as well. And for example, right here, you can see one of my purchasing assistants. They have time blocked out their their calendar, which is absolutely great. You can pretty much see when they start the day and when they finish the day. You can see when they're having lunch. This is quite useful because it shows you how long each task takes. But not only that, what I will show you here is, for example, when we click into a time block, you're going to be able to see they have a link to their process. So my purchasing assistant knows that on that day, she logs in, and at that time, she will go through that process. So now what we understand is these processes not only exist on a spreadsheet somewhere, they actually exist within a working week, and they have an allocated time for them to happen, which is great because you can apply this to things like checking the repricer, maybe checking that your inventories come in certain times of the week. You can allocate time towards certain processes, which is allow your business to scale. What you can do is you can look at your staff, for example here, and you can see where they're spending their time, and you can actually start attacking those time blocks whereby maybe they're spending too much time looking at their processes and making them a lot smaller. That's going to really help you out. Now, the one thing I will say is all of these processes are great, but one of the most key processes you've got to have to start with is actually getting the expectations right with your team members. This is why I've put together my virtual assistant job description and contract that you can download for free. This is going to be something that if you are looking to hire a VA, or maybe you've got a VA already and you haven't actually done it, just by setting the tone, the expectation, and the way you work is going to make your business so much easier and align the expectations of your staff towards the operations of the business, such as processes right now. Now, if you are interested to have a look at the link down below, you can get a free copy of my job description and contract. Now, one thing I did say to you at the very beginning is I will walk you through my exact step-by-step processes that we use within my own business. Now, one thing that I've done within this video right now is I've shown you a very basic mock-up of how you can start processes and implement them. But I want to show you where it could get to. And I want to show you where we are at in our business right now, which might help you understanding like what this could look like for you. And I say now, I will share it with you. The LC is quite in depth, and we've been developing this for a long time across my team. There are two processes that I want to go through with you today. Number one is going to be my master deal review process, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then number two, I'll talk you through about the weekly review that we have with my team, and I'll show you what that looks like as well. Now, on the, should we say, time tracker itself, you'll see here purchase good deals, and you've got a master deal review right here. And we also have processes for guidelines, so we save that, and also we do how we increase the ROI and the refund rate, managing that. So when we jump into our purchasing master deal review process, what you probably might notice is that straight away we're not using Google Docs. And by the way, Google Docs is great. Unfortunately, I do run quite a larger business. We have over 40 staff with it across multiple departments, so having a bit more of a centralized system is key. We use a tool called Zoho Desk, and I'm not recommending you go out and buy it. It does just help us manage all the processes we have across multiple departments and ticketing. Now, the one thing I want to show you up here is this is our master deal review process, and you can probably just notice up here it says version number 47. That means that this process has been improved 46 times already to get to where we are today from day one. So we've been refining and refining and refining this. What do? Every time we have bad buys, bad purchases, we are updating this. Every time we have problems, we are updating this just with what we need within our business. So it changes the game, and it just makes sure our business is always learning and not making the same mistakes. Now, within our business, we said this is the process for reviewing all deals. The answer should be yes for all questions. So we have basic checks, and the answer should be yes. So are these products the same? And we've got like, so when we're analyzing our deals, are they the same? Yes. Can we ship them through FBA? Yes. Are we eligible to sell? Yes. Knives and the brand match. Fantastic. Then we have what's known as estimated price calculation. So we calculate the fair market buy price, and we actually have a link right here that shows you how to calculate it. But we don't need that. We show it on here. Now, the next part we hear is, does it achieve the minimum profit ROI based off that, should we say, fair market price calculation? And that's really important. And then we go into our sales per month calculation. And what we're looking at here is we have two data points. This is going to be not just the previous sales data, the seller amp data if you've got that, but we want to confirm that with at least one more data point, which is so important because we've seen we have problems with that. And again, we have links about how to actually calculate them if you want to know. Then we do what's known as our red flag review. So our red flag review is looking at key areas whereby we've seen problems. So we look here, if there are two or more products that, should we say, two or more of these red flags, we won't buy it. But if there's one, we'll consider it. So, is the lowest buy box price over the last year lower than break even, excluding random price drops? Fine. And then total FBA stock and greater than 3 months supply. I've talked about that many times. That's a red flag for us. Now, we might miss out on some good deals, but these things are going to really help us out. Evidence of IP complaints. Should we say the brand is also a seller, suspicious website, and we have all of these links which kind of help us out. Meltable products, we put that in there to help us out. And even like old products, that's really, really important as well. Now, we've got our reorders process. So if we're going to do a reorder, we actually do a slightly different calculation, and we put it there. And then we have our how many to buy, which is going to be our normal process for like test purchases. And we have that process as well. We talk about cashback, and we use reorders as well. Now, the one thing which we learned in our business is the fact that we wanted to improve our learning ability. So what did we do on top of this process here? Every single time we are making a purchase, my team are actually recording recording through Loom, them doing the deal analysis of that deal as they analyze it. Now, if they get down to this point and they are like, yeah, I want to buy this deal, we're going to do some final bits that we'll show on that Loom recording. And I'll explain why we do the Loom recording in a minute. Okay, so I just want to take a quick moment to say, if you are struggling to find deals and struggling for time, which is a classic thing in this business, have a think about getting a virtual assistant. They cost just $3 per hour. And you know what? We have trained VAs ready to go. They're going to help you out in scaling your business. We support you for 12 weeks and we charge a one-time fee, and they can change the game. There is a reason why we've placed over 750 VAs with sellers just like you. Have a look at the link down below. Check out the Fast Track FBA VA Academy today. Now, we want to show this buy and sell price. We want to explain how we got the market calculation, explain how we did the 2 sales per month data points. We want to show total FBA stock on the listing. We're going to hover over all the seller names for the recording, and we're going to show the keeper. So we're going to show 90, 180 days in historical offers and the buy box statistics. And the reason why we do this, and we talk about the test buy here, how we did it all. And the reason why we record this is the fact that if the deal goes well, or if it goes bad, we want to go back and look at that recording so that we can understand what the data was looking like at the point of analysis, because later on in the future, we're going to have new information that maybe we didn't have, or perhaps we did, but we didn't spot. So by recording all the deal analysis through Loom, which is only like $10 a month, and saving that with the deal, we are now able to save recording of what that product looked like when we purchased it. And this just speeds up our learning process and allows us to get better. And obviously, it also creates an element of accountability, because I know that if the deal is really bad, and we say there's a problem, I'm going to come back and have a look at it. And if my team member or my purchaser has not analyzed the deal to the standard, it's going to show up very, very quickly. So that it creates accountability within my business as well, which I absolutely love. Now we have here, for example, this is our master deal process, and we've been refining this over and over again. And again, these sit on time blocks. So right here, we have all like the purchasing reviews. These are time blocks within our business. And each of my team, they have time they allocate towards tasks, and they have the way they do the tasks. And we're always refining those tasks, getting them better and better and better. Now, the other one I said I'd mention about is our meeting. Now we have a meeting right here. And again, I'll jump into that. And this is going to be this one here. So our weekly level 10 meeting. So we follow traction methodology, and this is a really easy meeting format that we follow on. This is just something we've refined, taken from traction and improved. So we do catch up, how is everyone getting on? And we do good news. Then we do catch up from last week. What did everyone say they were going to do? What's happened? Then we go through our OKRs, which is really kind of like the big tasks that we're focusing on. Then we go through our business dashboards, so purchases, sources, admin. And again, we're just seeing what the issues are and stating them. We review the time logger for the week. We review the audit check for the week. We go through staff accountability tracker. And then we have our discussion around all of the issues that we've just collected from all those points above. And again, if you're interested, research level 10 meeting for traction methodology. You'll see how this operates. And then finally, once we've discussed everything in the hour, we write our to-do list for next week, which we're going to obviously discuss on the to-do list when we come back in again. Then we rate the meeting, and then we conclude on time. And that is it. That is the process we go through. And for us, when we talk about scaling a business, all we're trying to do is build blocks of time within the business, which is processes, which allow us to complete certain tasks to a standard, and we'll continue seeing how they affect the KPIs, the outputs. And that is generally here on the business dashboard. And the net result of doing this over and over again is that we're going to refine and get better and better. And the net result is that we'll just become more efficient, more effective, and we'll get better and better results. That's it. That is how we are scaling our Amazon business using systems and processes.